Avalanche in a recent metric showcased how there was 608 validators. This is according to ChainSpec, which means that it's a pretty monumental milestone when it comes to this as a project, because this actually marks an all-time high in terms of Avalanche, in terms of validators. Why is this a big deal, especially in 2026? Because first of all, that's tough to do, and reaching an all-time high in anything when it comes to this space as of right now is very difficult for a project. Yes, it's not affecting the price, but this I think could maybe affect the fundamentals moving forward. And let me explain why I think that way in today's video, even though I am not telling anyone to do anything. This is just my personal review perspective, and nothing I say is financial advice. So if we think about it, why is having more validators even a good thing? Like, because some people may think, who cares about this? Well, first of all, this is going to help in several ways, such as, for instance, arguably better decentralization. Also, maybe better security and better resilience. Keep in mind, as a matter of fact, it was alleged that as of a couple of days ago, Avalanche saw 7 more validators in just 2 days. We gotta let that sink in. So when people like to tell me that, oh, everyone forgot about Avalanche, well, really? As a project, it seems quite relevant to me, or not, why would there be new validators entering, especially in 2026? The norm as of right now, like the usual, is for validators to leave certain projects, right? For people to leave in general. But when it comes to Avalanche, that doesn't necessarily seem to be the case. We're talking about a project here, right, which has seen 3 spot Avalanche ETFs in the US. I am literally not joking. There's literally, again, 3 spot Avalanche ETFs in the US. Now, that may sound very negative at first glance, because people are like, why would that be the case? But then AVAX is at around $6. But again, a lot of other projects out there that have ETFs are down. Like, for instance, take a look at Polkadot. Its native token called DOT. That recently reached a new all-time low. I'm not joking. And Polkadot has an ETF in the US. Or there is a Polkadot ETF, I should say. Let me correct myself there. In the US, right? Avalanche has 3. And okay, yeah, it's not doing the best, but a lot of other projects are also not doing the best. Take a look at HBAR. When it comes to the case of Hedera, there is also a US spot ETF for that. Is that doing good when it comes to the charts in regard to HBAR? No. So having, an ETF for a project as of right now doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things currently in terms of affecting the charts in any sort of significant way. Take a look at those Bitcoin ETFs and those Ethereum ETFs. What are they doing right now? I mean, they're also down, right? So it kind of showcases that as of right now, the general consensus is that a lot of projects are just not doing good. So AVAX is not doing good, but also Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all this, they're not doing the best. But at the same time, seeing that many validators when it comes to Avalanche showcases arguably, I think, long-term conviction when it comes to some people out there, or not. Why would they want to be a validator anyways when it comes to this? They could easily leave. I mean, personally for me, even me believing in this, it's purely voluntary. I don't have to believe in this. Like, I could just be like, oh yeah, I don't want to believe in this. I could just easily do that. But why am I voluntarily believing in this? Even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, it's just because I like the fundamentals, that's it. And I'm waiting. Now, do I know how long I'm going to have to wait? Absolutely not. But I'm willing to wait anyways. We're talking about AVAX here, which is around 8 times away from what it was in December of 2024. So if it could go back there, it wouldn't be an altcoin season in my opinion, but it would already feel like one, just because the journey back to there is around 8 times. But that's a big if. That remains to be seen, but I'm willing to wait for years anyways. Keep in mind, AVAX at this point, right, is arguably so low to the point where we're talking about levels that was seen back in 2021, like early 2021, I might add, right? Am I going to complain about that? I don't know if I would, just because I don't mind the dip, so to speak. I like the dip when it comes to my chicken tenders, and I like the dip here too, personally for me, even though that's just my personal perspective. Now, if I take a look at AVAX, people like to tell me, but yeah, people have forgot about this. Well, here's the thing. Okay, yeah, it's at around $6, but there's still around 180,000 holders. A lot of stadiums can't fit that many individuals. And AVAX, at a time like right now, and there's around 180,000 holders, even if half of them, for whatever reason, didn't like Avalanche at all, and they didn't like this as a project, okay, let's just assume around 90,000 for whatever reason. That's still a lot. You know, a lot of other projects out there can't even get anywhere close to that many holders. But you know what? I digress, right? Besides that point, Avalanche as a layer 1 blockchain, keep in mind, 100% of the gas fees are literally burned. Not 10%, not 5, 100%. What does that mean? That means over time, it could very well create this pretty hypothetically fantastic deflationary pressure. Now, it's not doing much as of right now because Avalanche isn't seeing that much activity. And furthermore, the gas fees when it comes to this isn't even that much to begin with. So the deflationary pressure won't be too much. It won't be like immediate like that. But it is something that could hypothetically affect Avalanche as time goes on, right? It's more of like this sustained effort that needs to be done for many, many years to see any sort of significant difference. But at least the mechanism is there, at least in my perspective. So when it comes to this, I don't necessarily see what's so wrong with it fundamentally. Yes, it's down, but being down is kind of like a glass half full / glass half empty type of vibe anyways, personally for me, because, you know, I kind of view it as a dip, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But I am dollar cost averaging approximately once a month. That's kind of it. I'm not telling anyone to do anything though. But again, Avalanche, I just don't see what's wrong with it fundamentally. Yeah, it's down, but a lot of projects out there are also down. If the common denominator as of right now is that a project is down, whether or not it's a random meme I've never heard of, or let's say something like Avalanche or whatever other project, if the common denominator is that a bunch of projects are just down overall, I'm going to be focusing on the ones that I actually like fundamentally. That's it. Because imagine if I went inside a store for whatever reason and everything had a discount. Of course, I'm not going to be focusing on the items that I don't want. I'm going to be focusing on the items that I do want, right? If generally the store just has a discount. That's my point of view. People like to say, though, well, why is it so difficult for AVAX to do anything? Like, why can't it do much as of right now? Let me just put a perspective when it comes to this. At a time when the market isn't doing the best, demand is naturally going to be low. So of course, naturally, something like Avalanche is going to, kind of feel those effects. Here's the thing. Have you watched Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway? Well, I have. But yeah, besides that point, in the movie Castaway, remember when Tom Hanks was stuck in that place for quite a while? Here's the thing. If let's say you put a saxophone there, you put a piano, you put a pinball machine, do you think Tom Hanks in that movie, in that make-believe scenario, do you think he's going to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try to play the saxophone and play the pinball machine. I feel like that wouldn't be his top priority. First of all, his top priority is leaving, right? Not spending more time there playing with random gadgets. That's the way I take a look at it. So again, this is my point of view. As of right now, Avalanche is like a pinball machine in the middle of nowhere. Who's really going to play it? Now, it's going to start to matter if, let's say, there was a city built there and a lot of people started moving there, then yeah, of course. But if that doesn't happen, then it won't really matter much. But sometimes things don't matter until they do. Sometimes. That's the way I take a look at it. So yes, Avalanche may not be doing the best as of right now, and a bunch of projects are also not doing the best. But what usually allows a project to survive over the long haul, especially during market downturns, is the good fundamentals and a good use case. So as long as I'm seeing that when it comes to Avalanche, I'm not necessarily worried, because if, let's say, the market sentiment were to return, Avalanche has showcased that time and time again historically, it hasn't necessarily been forgotten about. This is not the first time Avalanche has experienced a downturn, right? It's been through market downturns before. This is not the first time. But again, when I take a look at Avalanche, I just don't see what's wrong with it fundamentally, so I'm just waiting. But this is just personally me, or should I say personally what I'm doing. But I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. And again, recently seeing how it reached a new all-time high in terms of the validators at 608, I thought it was quite impressive. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video kind of highlighting that. However, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very wonderful day.